Hey, Tribute Band Central, welcome to the show. I have Drew Lafferty joining us today, and he is an incredible vocalist. And I consider him a friend because I've spent a lot of time with him. He actually had a Christmas show and invited me to be there as my alter ego for Christmas for Santa. And we had three shows, so we got to spend like 4 or 5 hours backstage, and I got to know him. He's an incredible young man, incredible vocalist. Thank you so much, Drew, for joining us today.
Thank you, Harlan. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me on your channel. And like you said, it's a pleasure to talk with him whenever I get the chance.
Excellent, excellent. So let's talk a little bit. Give me your musical background. I mean, you're a young man, I think on your website, 27. How did it start? You've been doing it for a long time. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, that's right. So I have been singing for a very long time. I'm 27 years old and I'm living in Atlanta, pursuing music as my career. And I had the opportunity to either perform with my own band within the Beltline or the surrounding area of Atlanta. And I also get to perform with other bands like the Dukes of Swing, which I think we're going to touch on in a little bit. And that's how I got to meet Harlan. It all started, to make a long story short, it all started when my father passed away when I was three and a half. Uh, my mom thought that one of the best ways to help me combat that loss was to put me in music education and music therapy as a child. So part of it was real therapy with a an actual therapist, and I should be careful to say real because the music therapy is real as well. The music, I don't want to make one sound like it's better than the other. They both were very important and integral to who I am today. The therapist was great, and then the music therapy was also something that encouraged me to be creative and to have that outlet. And moving forward a little bit, my mom would take me to local parks around where I lived in rural Virginia, and I got to see a jazz band perform one night, and I was the only kid that was glued to the stage watching the musicians perform. All the other kids wanted to play, and I was like, no, 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 what is this? And my mom said, oh, this is big band jazz, and I was hooked since childhood. That's a very short way of telling you how I got to where I am right now.
Outstanding, outstanding. And yeah, jazz band starts for a lot of people. I was a trumpet player in jazz band, and it was certainly of all the concert band and marching band and all the things that I did, jazz band was certainly my favorite. So now you focus on big band and swing music. Have you always done that? And what's some of your favorite stuff to perform?
Yeah, as of right now, and moving forward, I'm trying to branch out and do things that put me outside of my comfort zone. Swing is really where I started because I found it was very approachable and very easy to get into. Um, Around the end of high school, I was already performing in our band. It was like a concert band, and I was performing on the trombone and trumpet as well. And um, there was a point where one of my close friends, who I still keep in touch with, reached out and he said, "You should listen to this guy named Seth MacFarlane." And I knew him as the creator of Family Guy, so I was like, "Why should I listen to him? It's just going to be a bunch of gag music. It'll be silly. Nah, I'm not listening to that." He said he has a Christmas album, and I was like, "A Christmas album, you say?" So I went and listened to it, and I was like, "Oh my goodness gracious, this is exactly the type of music that I love." Because I had already fallen in love with the music of Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Michael Bublé at that point, just to name a few. And I found a contemporary that's someone that's alive with you and I today, still making this music and making it quite well. He's been nominated for several Grammys now on a bunch of his albums. He performs consistently with 65-piece orchestras, and it's that studio orchestra sound, studio jazz orchestra sound, where it's a big band but with strings as well. So jazz and swing and bosses and uh, mid-century pop is my strong suit. But I also am now diving into R&B and funk. I'm trying to learn more about how to perform soul music, and I even have an operatic piece that I'm being challenged with by Andrea Bocelli and Celine Dion.
Outstanding, outstanding. I certainly respect any musician that branches out into other genres and kind of opens things up. So kudos to you for that. And I can certainly attest to your abilities because you put on an incredible show. I noticed on Facebook you had put up a promo for the show this weekend, and it included, out of the blue, one of my favorite Frank Sinatra songs, "The Way You Look Tonight." And I have a lot of history with that song because it was popular when I went to college. Anheuser-Busch had done an advertising campaign with a number of different musical groups, but Michelob used "The Way You Look Tonight," and Frank was sitting at the piano. He's got a beer on the piano and he's singing. And me and my friends from college, we just fell in love with it. So I wanted to just ask you a little bit about your thoughts on that particular song, and have you performed it a lot, and how did you pick it to be part of the set list for this weekend?
Of course. So The Way You Look Tonight is a classic tune that Irving Berlin wrote. And oh geez, someone's going to fact check me on that. I've just said it so often. I'm like, it is Irving Berlin, right? You know, Harlan, is it Irving?
I,
I sure hope it is.
if
But
not, don't worry, we'll put it in the
sure,
comments. We'll
sure.
correct it.
This
No
is a
problem.
tune by Irving Berlin for the time being.
Yes.
No, 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 it's not. It's not Irving Berlin. I didn't look. You didn't see anything. It's Dorothy Fields and Jerome Kern.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Anyways, they're the people that wrote the tune. Sinatra, I think, arguably made it the most popular version is his with Nelson Riddle's arrangement from 1963. It's on an album called "The Days of Wine and Roses" and other Academy Award winners. And it is in and of itself an Academy Award winner for the best song for one of those years. And when I think of The Way You Look Tonight, I think of a song that's one of the ABCs of jazz and standards for me. Songs like All of Me, Fly Me to the Moon, The Way You Look Tonight. They're songs that I learned pretty much from the start. It's one that you hear from Frank and you know, oh, that's him.
Yes.
And yes, I have performed that song quite a lot. I've performed it at weddings. I performed it with as small as me and a piano, or a duo or a trio, even up to actually a studio jazz orchestra with strings. So I've had every different way of performing that tune. Also, Nelson Riddle and Frank Sinatra's arrangement of it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, certainly looking forward to that this weekend. I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot, and musical
I put myself
performers.
on the spot a moment ago.
Okay, well, who is of all the performers you do? Who's your favorite? And if you have to go for two, you won't offend me. You can do two. Who do you who what singer songs really get you going?
Well, it changes, Harlan. It changes a lot. And also, I'm happy that I can't offend you. Uh, I mean, when I first started, I'm going to say, of course, I would say Frank Sinatra and Seth MacFarlane, because those were the two people that I was really listening to when I started taking this more seriously. And it was more than just doing karaoke with these particular tunes. But as I've matured as a singer, I've moved to Atlanta and I've been exposed to more musicians and more singers that are inspired by other people. I'm finding that there's a plethora of people to choose from that you can listen to take inspiration from. So two people that are like really hitting the spot for me right now. Uh, let's do one contemporary and one throwback. For throwback, let's say Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald's music, just like Frank Sinatra's, from the 50s through the mid 60s. She has a much wider uh, uh, collection of tunes than that. But from the 50s through the mid 60s, just like Sinatra's, that recording quality from Capitol Records and various other studios at that point in time. And what she does, she's it's like both of those people's golden age, Frank and Ella. And then to make sure I'm leaving Frank out, not that I want to give a contemporary, it would probably be someone like Matt Forbes. Matt Forbes is someone that I actually message on Instagram every once in a while, and
Okay.
he's a Canadian crooner.
Okay.
He has newer arrangements, and but he also covers Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra, and others like that. And he puts his own twist on this music. And he's a contemporary, someone that I look up to and follow to see what he's doing now.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, I'm really excited and happy to have you on the show. I wanted to give you an opportunity to plug some of your upcoming shows. I will for my viewers in the comments below, I will put a link to tickets for the March 15th show. It's at MadLife 6 p.m. And that will be an exciting one. And Drew, I will open it up to you for any other shows that you want to let us know about. And for my listeners, I'll make sure we put links to all those, and I'll put Drew's website link in the comments also.
I appreciate that, Harlan. Thank you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. It's one of the few weekends within every month where I have shows stacked back to back. The one that is happening at Mad Life is with a 17-piece big band. It's called the Dukes of Swing, and that'll be a swing dance night, the first of its kind that Mad Life and the Dukes of Swing are collaborating on together. And another singer, Tony Bird, and I get to join the Dukes of Swing on stage while there's an instructional period beforehand. And then after the instructional period's done, where people that maybe don't know how to swing dance need some help, then we start at 6 o'clock going until 8 o'clock. Performing the way you look tonight. I don't want to spoil too many other ones because there's a lot of great music and you have to be there to hear it. I hope that a lot of folks will come out to see what we've got prepared for that. And before that, I've got a private show with my own band that's inside the Beltline of Atlanta in Brookhaven. But I don't think that I can actually say where that is because it's a private club and I'm not supposed to talk about it. But a public one that I could mention that's coming up soon is a Roaring Social Alpharetta gig with my own band that's happening on April 7th. That'll be from 8 to 11 o'clock. It's no reservation required. You don't have to pay a cover charge or anything. But it'll be me with four other people swinging to Frank Sinatra's music, Michael Bublé's music, me trying my hand at newer artists like Rihanna and Leve and Prince. Like I
Excellent.
said earlier, I really try to do everything and put a little bit of my own spin on it. But those are the two that I can think of that are public that are upcoming.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I will make sure that we have links down below for everyone. When I set up this channel, and gosh, it's been almost a year, everybody told me when you interview, you need to ask everyone one question that's the same. So I always close out with this question, and that is,
Oh no.
do you attend any other tribute bands in your off time? And I know you're pretty busy, but do you have any chances to go see other tribute bands?
Other tribute bands. I haven't seen them in a while, and yes, I am rather busy with doing my own stuff. But I do find it very important to support other bands any chance that I can get. So most of the bands that I'm supporting, or the singers that are with their own bands that I'm supporting in the Atlanta area, are not necessarily tribute bands, but one that I can think of that my mom and I really love is Leonid and Friends. They do United States tours. They're a Russian Ukrainian Chicago. You know Leonid and Friends?
Very well. I know them
Eh,
very well.
Have have
Outstanding.
have you seen them in concert?
I have, but it was a couple of years ago. So I definitely need to see them again.
Yeah, it's I found them on YouTube, and as most people probably have, because they're you should check out their YouTube. Everyone listening out there, go to Leonid and Friends on YouTube.
Yes.
They cover everything from Earth, Wind, and Fire to Chicago. Uh, it's incredible. They're cool in the gang, everything, and they put such great production value into it. It's almost as if the bands that did the songs originally came back to life. They're that tight, and their engineering and their recording quality is insane. And seeing them in person, Harlan, I think you can probably agree with me on this. My mom and I have gone to see them. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. I've never seen a show like that.
Exactly, exactly. Well, yeah, if you had to pick another tribute to go see, that's an impressive one. So very cool, very cool. Well, I'd like to thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it. It has been a pleasure to get to know you, and I know my listeners enjoyed getting to know you and your music. And one more time, I will plug Sunday, March 15th at Mad Life. Mad Life's like my favorite venue. I call it my home venue. And that is at 6 p.m., but come early for the dance instructions. And it should be very, very exciting. So, Drew, thank you so much. You have a great evening, okay?
Thank you, Harlan. You as well.